This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(8:45). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj, read by Soundithavam. The result or the vote on the UNHRC resolution will not have any impact on Sri Lanka. Ravi Karunanayake remanded over bond scam. 2 more days of parliamentary debate on the Easter Attack Commission report. Sri Lanka's COVID figures up by 182 new cases. COVID-19 cannot be transmitted through blood. Nearly 20 estate houses burned down in the fire that erupted in Muskelia. In news overseas, Atlanta shootings, Asian women among 8 killed at 3 spas. In sports, a member of Pakistan's touring party to Africa tests positive for COVID-19 and to isolate at home. The President's Media Director General, Mohan Samranayake, says the report on Sri Lanka presented at the UNHRC is a report of the super political powers of the world. The Western countries used to grab a big share of the advantage against the rest of the world using these tactics, he added. Mr. Samranayake made these comments while addressing a media conference at the Media Ministry today. The conference also focused its attention on the global political stalwarts and their attitude of dictatorship and pressuring the small nations. Secretary to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Professor Janath Kolombege, joined this media conference and said that the result or the vote on this resolution will not have any impact on Sri Lanka. Former Minister Ravi Karunanayake has been remanded over the central bank bond scam issue in 2016. Another 7 suspects have also been remanded, along with the former United National Party UNP minister. They have been placed under remand custody until March 23rd. The Attorney General this morning filed indictments against the suspects before the 2 trials at bar hearing the legal matters on the central bank treasury bond auctions held between March 29th and March 31st, 2016. A total of 182 more persons were tested positive for COVID-19 in Sri Lanka today, as the confirmed cases count reached 88,706. Meanwhile, the recoveries count reached 85,725 earlier today, with 354 patients returning to health. According to statistics, 2,447 active cases are still under medical care at designated hospitals and treatment centres. Sri Lanka has also witnessed 534 fatalities due to the outbreak of the pandemic. The Director General of the National Blood Bank, Dr. Lakshman Edirisinghe, has said COVID-19 was not communicable through blood and that the blood donated by the people would not create any health hazard. He told the media that one would not contract the coronavirus through transfusion of blood and pointed out that the virus is transmitted only through contact and not through blood. He further explained on the safety measures adopted by the National Blood Bank during this COVID-19 pandemic. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
Nearly 20 houses have been burned down in a fire that broke out this afternoon at a row of estate houses in the Queensland section of the Brunswick estate in Muskelia. The fire had initially broken out in one of the estate houses, according to the Muskelia police. The Muskelia police, the Sri Lanka Army personnel and estate workers had worked to extinguish the fire. Nearly 60 individuals, if 20 households, have been displaced in the fire. The cause of the fire has not yet been revealed. The World Water Day falls on the 22nd of March. The commemoration period to mark this day has been extended till the Sinhala and Tamil New Year. Minister Vasudeva Nanayakkara says many small and large-scale water distribution projects will be vested in the public during this period. These water projects will be implemented in many areas, including Galigamua, Jaffna, Nittambua, Vavuniya, Lunagala and Pudukudirippu. The Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, which conducts a Ratana Sutra Pirit recitation in island-wide viharas, has made arrangements to conduct tomorrow's program at the Rambukana Kirti Ratnaramaya Vihara. This is the 136th program of the series. The Ratana Sutra chanting will be conducted under the guidance of the chief incumbent of the Buddhist temple, Beligal Kinigoda, Dekorala Chief Sanganayaka, Venerable Alpitia Ratnavangsatera. The program will be aired live from 6:30 p.m. tomorrow through the Sinhala commercial service, City FM and all other regional services of the SLBC. That's local news.
Darling, our daughter has top O-level results. Do you know what this means?
Yes, just 3 years and she'll be going abroad for her degree.
For which we'll need a bank loan.
But is a normal loan the smartest option?
What else?
The smartest way is to start an HDFC Smart Goals account.
Let your child begin their degree with no delays. Start an HDFC Smart Goals account. Call 2356 888.
Honey, you're so smart.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidamahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The report of the Presidential Commission of Inquiry, PCOI, which investigated the 2019 Easter Sunday terror attacks, will be debated in Parliament for 2 more days. Accordingly, the debate has been scheduled for the 25th and 26th of March. The decision was taken during the meeting of the Parliament Business Committee and came to you in the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Moving on to Watchlight, the consumers complain that the price of rice varieties have been increased at some private sales outlets. It is understood that some errant traders are increasing the price of rice arbitrarily without considering the government-controlled prices. This is for the attention of the Consumer Affairs Authority and came to you in Watchlight, a bulletin of world news up next.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Making headlines tonight, Atlanta shootings, Asian women among 8 killed at 3 spas. South Africa's largest ethnic group, Zulus, await new king. And COVID-19 disruptions killed 228,000 children in South Asia, says the UN report. 8 people, many of them women of Asian descent, have been killed in shootings at spas in the US state of Georgia. Police say the shootings took place at a massage parlor in Ackworth, a suburb north of Atlanta, and 2 spas in the city itself. South Korea later confirmed that 4 of the victims were of Korean descent. Officials say a 21-year-old man was arrested and is suspected of involvement in all of the attacks. South Africa's largest ethnic group, the Zulus, will bid farewell on Thursday to their king, Goodwill Zwelithini, who for half a century was not only their charismatic but also controversial figurehead. The longest-serving king in Zulu history, the monarch died on Friday after 50 years on the throne. Under Zulu funeral rites, he should be interred by a few select men, an event the palace calls a planting of his remains rather than a burial. The disruption in healthcare services caused by COVID-19 may have led to an estimated 239,000 maternal and child deaths in South Asia, according to a new UN report. It's focused on Afghanistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan and Sri Lanka, home to some 1.8 billion people. The report found that women, children and adolescents were the worst hit. South Asia has reported nearly 13 million COVID cases and more than 186,000 deaths so far. Back to the headlines of the world news. Atlanta shootings, Asian women among 8 killed at 3 spas. South Africa's largest ethnic group, Zulus, await new king. And COVID-19 disruptions killed 228,000 children in South Asia, says UN report. That concludes this bulletin of world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by Nivea along with CIB. Valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment and 20% discount for bank card holders during 16th to 30th March. Our product, our place. CIB.
A protective boundary of 3,750 mangrove saplings are to be planted around Kathadua, an island in the Koggala Lake, with the continued support of the Commercial Bank of Ceylon to the Koggala Mangrove Restoration and Conservation Project of Wildlife and Ocean Resources Conservation, WORC, of Sri Lanka. Phase 2 of this project follows the immense success of Phase 1, during which the bank funded the planting of 2,000 mangrove plants, 750 mangrove associates and 500 terrestrial plants on this 13.5-acre island in Habaradua, which is situated close to Madoldua, the island made famous by Martin Wickramasinghe's novel. Phase 2 seeks to prevent marsh edge erosion and will continue to utilize the barrel planting method, which proved efficient in the first phase. It came to you in Development News.
Development News was brought to you by Nivea along with CIB. Valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment and 20% discount for bank card holders during 16th to 30th March. Our product, our place. CIB.
On to sports news. One of the players selected in Pakistan's large travelling party to Africa for the games in South Africa and Zimbabwe has tested positive for COVID-19 and has not travelled to Lahore, where the rest of the players and support staffers will assemble on March 18th. The cricketer in question is expected to isolate at his residence. That's sports news. Business news up next.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
HNB Assurance PLC HNBA and its fully owned subsidiary HNB General Insurance Limited HNBGI recorded a profit after tax of 1.17 billion rupees for the year 2020, growing 16% compared to the corresponding period last year, whilst the group's gross written premium GWP reached 10.4 billion rupees for the year under review. Sharing her views on the financial growth, Rose Kure, chairperson of the HNBA and HNBGI, stated, "Quote, 2020 undoubtedly was a challenging year to all of us. However, amidst the unprecedented adverse challenges presented by the outbreak of this global pandemic, as a group, HNBA was able to surpass the 1 billion rupee mark in profit after tax for the second consecutive year, auguring well for the agility and resilience of the businesses to quickly recalibrate itself in the midst of the unprecedented calamity to continue to create and deliver value to all its stakeholders," unquote. That's business news. We look at economic news next.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The government temporarily halted the import of vehicles not to create any hardships to the public, but to create a new business vertical from Sri Lanka in the automobile sector, said Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa at the launch of the Standard Operating Procedure SOP for automobile manufacturing and assembly in Colombo on Monday. He said that when the decision was taken, there was a buffer stock of imported vehicles in Sri Lanka sufficient for 2 years. He said that due to the import ban of vehicles today, several local investors have moved in the assembly of vehicles and also component manufacturers have reinvested to increase production. That's economic news.
Congratulations on your promotion. Heard you gave a treat for everyone in your department yesterday.
Yeah.
When will be our treat, huh?
Well, how about today?
Oh no, I was just joking. We'll have a party with your new salary.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
In the weather report, the Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in the southern, Sabaragamuwa and western provinces and in the Nuwara district during the evening or night. Fairly heavy falls, about 50 millimeters, can be expected at some places in the southern province and in the Ratnapura district. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central, Sabaragamuwa, Uva and western provinces during the morning. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. To conclude this bulletin of news, a recap of the headlines. The result of the vote on the UNHRC resolution will not have any impact on Sri Lanka. Ravi Karunanayake remanded over bond scam. 2 more days of parliamentary debate on the Easter Attack Commission report. Sri Lanka's COVID figures up by 182 new cases. COVID-19 cannot be transmitted through blood. Nearly 20 estate houses burned down in the fire that erupted in Muskelia. Atlanta shootings, Asian women among 8 killed at 3 spas. And a member of Pakistan's touring party to Africa tests positive for COVID-19 and to isolate at home. That concludes tonight's news broadcast, and now it's back to your hostess, Chandima Virakun, to keep you entertained right to the end of transmission. Back to you, Chandima, and all yours to entertain the listeners.